2010, my good friend Andy died. And like most people, when you lose somebody close to you, you think about what would be your life's work if you were to die tomorrow. And I wanted to give back to society. So I had already had a successful corporate career at Amazon.com by that point. I had already built a small business that was successful, and I had time to give my community. So I wanted to try to do something more than the volunteer work I was doing, and that's why I ran. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, and he struggled after that war. And growing up and graduating in 1991 from high school, Iraq War I was going on. Now, it was naive of us to think that there would be a draft, but my graduating class in 1991 was concerned very much about war and about going to war. So that's what initially got me into the Democratic Party. One of the core tenets today that make me a Democrat is I'm accepting of other people's way of life, no matter what that is. I believe in individual freedom. I'm somebody who understands that people do need help every once in a while. I'm somebody who grew up on government assistance, and now I'm a successful small business owner. I recognize that government does have a role to play when people need a hand. The first district is really unique as far as the legislative districts in Olympia go. It represents two counties, so it represents both King County and Snohomish County, which is a little bit unusual. It's really, really diverse. I think the one thing that defines the first district is the diversity both geographically, ideologically, and you can see it anywhere you go in this district. So we've got extremely rural areas where we are here today, out in Maltby and in unincorporated Snohomish. We've also got really urban areas like in downtown Bothell, Montlake Terrace, and Kirkland. So we really have a very diverse district. And then also politically speaking, it's sort of a moderate district. It's roughly a 53% Democratic district. But where I live out here in the rural area, when I talk to my neighbors, we're talking to Trump voters. So I really love the fact that I represent a district that's so diverse, that has diverse opinions, and I need to take all of them into account. I can't just be a representative or a senator for the Democrats or the Republicans. I have to be both. And I think that we need more of that in today's divisive political environment at the national level. The district stretches from all the way down to the banks of Lake Washington down in Juanita and Big Fin Hill Park. O.O. Denny Park is one of the big gems in our district that people don't know about. You can see here where the stewardship of the park by the local community to enhance the salmon habitat in these salmon runs is something that they take very seriously, because everything that happens here in Big Fin Hill winds up down in Lake Washington. So there's a big ecological focus, and that's something I really like about our community down here. Out on the west part of the district, we've got all the way to I-5 where Montlake Terrace is. And that's a perfect example of a community that's really preparing well for rapid transit. They're going to be getting light rail on I-5, and they're already doing the planning around the Gateway project that's going to really enhance this community and make it a livable community for working class families. Of course, the heart and soul of the district is Bothell, which spans both Snohomish and King County, and is the third largest city in Snohomish County. As you can see in the downtown area today, it is going through a revitalization of epic proportions. It all started with McMinimans coming to town, and now you can see the boulevard is open, Main Street is back open after the horrendous fire that we had, and now small businesses are coming here in droves. It's really a growing community, and it's a gem in our community. On the other end of our district, out where I live, which is the rural part, goes all the way out to the Snohomish River. This wide area of Snohomish County has a lot of farms and small businesses, and certainly the downtown area of Maltby is a growing area where people really come from miles around to patronize these small businesses. The number one issue facing our district are growth problems having to do with density. So over the last 10 years, a lot of people have been priced out of King County and Seattle specifically. They all mostly moved up to the South Snohomish County area in the first district, what's known as North Creek. North Creek, as you can see, has tons and tons of new home developments that are going in every day. As an example, our new high school that just got built, it's already full. We have serious infrastructure problems, and the state in the last 10 years did not fund our infrastructure. In 2015, when they passed the gas tax, we only got $10 million out of $16 billion in projects. That needs to change, and that's what I'm focused on every day with your First LD delegation. There's not many small business owners in Olympia, and I think that's a role that I have to play that's very important, because there's a lot of large lobbying groups in Olympia. You can have large corporations that can pay for expensive lobbyists to get various policies across the finish line. Small businesses don't have that voice, and that's one of the things that I really take pride in, is that no matter what the debate is, I'm bringing a small business owner's perspective to the table, and that's something that's sorely needed in Olympia. What I love most is that I'm a policy nerd. A lot of people have a lot of hobbies. My hobby is public policy, and it always has been. I really love getting into the weeds of policy and trying to find the common ground, because I do represent a moderate district, sort of a swing district, and we have people on both sides of the aisle with different viewpoints. And I love finding common ground in Olympia on a policy that moves the ball forward, whatever that policy is. I'm not really interested in stagnation and the political fights that we see dividing our country today. What I'm interested most in is moving the ball forward on whatever the policy is.